Good evening, dear audience of one. My name is Mr. James Candlelight, and I'm honored that you've taken your seat for tonight's performance. Tonight, we enter the Regal Theater, a beautiful old playhouse that has hosted performances for over a century. The seats are velvet, the chandeliers are crystal. The stage has held countless stories, countless lives, countless moments of magic. And tonight, on this stage, we will witness one final performance. Victor Ashworth is 93 years old and has been an actor for 70 years. He has played kings and beggars, heroes and villains, lovers and ghosts. He has made audiences laugh, cry, gasp, and dream. But tonight is his farewell performance, his final bow, the last time he will step onto a stage and become someone else. He has chosen to perform a monologue, just him, alone on stage, speaking words that have waited his entire life to be spoken, not from a famous play, not from Shakespeare or Chekhov or Tennessee Williams, his own words, his own story, his own truth. This is a story about knowing when to exit gracefully, about leaving the stage while the audience still wants more, about understanding that every performance must end and that the ending, done well, is what makes everything that came before meaningful. Before the curtain rises, let us prepare with deep relaxation so we can fully receive Victor's final performance. Take your seat, get comfortable. The lights are dimming. Let's begin. Imagine yourself sitting in a theater. The house lights are dimming. The audience is settling. The stage is dark, waiting. You're about to witness something special, something that will never happen again. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and with each number, you will sink deeper into your seat, deeper into relaxation, deeper into the receptive state of the perfect audience. 10. Feel the velvet seat beneath you. Soft, supportive, made for comfort during long performances. Let yourself sink into it. Let it hold you completely. You are here to receive, not to perform, just to witness. 9. Notice your body. Where are you holding tension? In your shoulders, from the weight of your own performances in life. In your chest, from holding your breath through difficult scenes. Let those places soften. You're off stage now. You can rest. 8. You are completely safe. This theater is a sanctuary, a place where stories are told and truths are revealed. My voice guides you, but so does the darkness. So does the anticipation. So does the sacred space of witnessing. 7. Thoughts pass like actors crossing the stage. Some take center stage, some linger in the wings, some exit quickly. You don't need to follow them all. Just watch. Just observe. You're the audience. They're the performance. There's a difference. 6. This moment is yours. This rest is necessary. You've been performing for so long. playing roles, meeting expectations, saying your lines. But tonight, you don't have to perform. You just have to be present, to witness, to receive. 5. Peace is like a dark theater before the curtain rises, full of potential, full of promise, quiet but alive, empty but complete. Feel that peaceful potential inside you now. 4. Breathe in gratitude for storytellers, for performers, for those brave enough to stand in the spotlight, for the actors who teach us about ourselves by becoming someone else, for the final bros that remind us all performances must end. 3. The stage lights are coming up now, slowly, gently. You can see the curtain, red velvet, heavy, still. Behind it, someone is preparing, taking a breath, getting ready. 2. Your body is so heavy now, so relaxed, like you've melted into your seat. No need to move, no need to do, only need to be, to watch, to witness. You are the perfect audience. 1. The curtain is rising. The stage is revealed. As the story unfolds, you will see Victor's final performance. You are honored to be here. This is a gift. This is goodbye. And now, the performance begins. The Regal Theater holds 200 people, but tonight there are only 30 in the audience. Friends, family, fellow actors, theater critics who have followed Victor's career for decades, and you. The stage is simple, no elaborate set, just a single chair, a small table with a glass of water, and overhead a spotlight. The curtain rises completely. For a moment, the stage is empty. Then, from stage left, Victor Ashworth enters. He's 93 years old, but carries himself with the grace of a lifetime spent moving deliberately. He wears a simple black suit, elegant but not showy. His white hair is combed back. His face is deeply lined, each wrinkle a story. He walks to center stage, into the spotlight, stops, takes a breath. Then he looks directly at the audience, at you, and he smiles. "Good evening," he says. His voice is strong, trained, carrying easily through the theater without amplification. "Thank you for coming to my funeral." A small laugh ripples through the audience. Victor holds up a hand. "I'm not dead yet, of course, but this is a funeral nonetheless. The death of Victor Ashworth, the actor, the character I've been playing for 70 years. He moves to the chair and sits, comfortable, at ease. I've played many roles in my life. Hamlet, Lear Willie Loman, Stanley Kowalski, hundreds of characters across thousands of performances. I've died on stage more times than I can count. Sword fights, poison, old age, heartbreak. But I've never done what I'm about to do tonight. I've never walked off stage for the last time. I've never taken a final bow. And I've learned something preparing for this moment. Knowing when to exit is perhaps the most important part of the performance. I started acting when I was 23, fresh from drama school, full of ambition and ego and dreams of greatness. My first role was in a touring production of Death of a Salesman. I played Happy Loman, the younger son, 8 lines, but I spoke them like they were Shakespeare, like they were the most important lines ever written. After that first performance, an old actor, he was probably 60, which seemed ancient to me then, came to my dressing room. He said, "You were good, too good. You tried too hard. Learn to leave room for the audience." I didn't understand. I was performing, giving them everything. How could that be too much? Victor stands and begins to pace slowly across the stage. Not nervous pacing, but the measured movement of someone illustrating a point. It took me 20 years to understand what he meant. That the best performances aren't about showing the audience everything. They're about suggesting enough that the audience fills in the rest. The power is in what you don't say, in the pause, in the space between words, in knowing when to stop. He returns to center stage. I learned this lesson in performance, but it's taken me until now, until 93, to apply it to life. I should have stopped acting 5 years ago, maybe 10. There have been signs. My memory isn't what it was. I forget lines sometimes. I tire easily. I can't move the way I used to. But I kept going, kept taking roles, kept performing because I didn't know who I was without the stage. If I'm not Victor the actor, who am I? 6 months ago, I was rehearsing King Lear, the ultimate old man role, the part every aging actor dreams of playing, and I couldn't do it. Not because I didn't understand Lear. After 70 years, I understand him perfectly, too perfectly perhaps. But I couldn't remember the lines, couldn't find the energy, couldn't become him anymore. I was just an old man pretending to be an old man. There was no transformation, no magic, just effort. And I realized I was doing what Lear did, holding on too long, refusing to let go, trying to maintain power and relevance past my time. The tragedy of Lear isn't that he grows old. It's that he doesn't know when to exit. Victor sits again, slower this time. You can see the weight he carries. So I quit, walked away from the production, left them to find another Lear. And I felt relieved, lighter, as if I'd been carrying a heavy costume for years and had finally taken it off. That's when I decided I would do one final performance, not a full play, just this, just me, speaking truth, and then I would walk off stage for the last time. Not because I have to, not because I'm forced to, but because I choose to, while I can still do it well. while the audience still wants more. That's the gift you can give, leaving them wanting more, not staying until they are tired of you. This theater, the Regal I've performed here dozens of times over the years, my first leading role was on this stage, Romeo at 28. Too old for the part, really, but I was passionate, and the director took a chance. I played Macbeth here at 40, Blanche's gentleman caller here at 55, Prospero here at 70. This stage has held my youth, my prime, my maturity, and now my farewell. When I die, actually die, they'll probably hold my memorial service here. People will stand on this stage and tell stories about me, some true, some exaggerated, all meant to honor my memory. But tonight, while I'm still alive, I want to tell you the truth. Not the performance version, not the character, just me. He stands again. This time there's purpose in it, decision. I am 93 years old. I have lived a good life, a life full of stories and passion and art. I have pretended to be kings and fools and everything in between. But I have never been more myself than I am right now. In this moment, speaking these words to this small audience. This is not a character. This is me, Victor, just Victor. And I am telling you, I am ready to leave the stage. Not because I'm tired of life, but because I'm ready for life without performance, life without audience, life without having to be anything other than what I am. I want to sit in my garden without analyzing the scene. I want to talk to my grandchildren without projecting my voice. I want to experience moments without wondering how I would play them on stage. I want to stop performing and start simply being. And that requires walking away, choosing the exit, taking the final bow while the applause still echoes. Victor moves downstage closer to the audience. The spotlight follows him. My friend, the one who died 20 years ago, he stayed too long, kept acting into his 80s. The last few years were painful to watch. He forgot lines, missed cues, struggled with simple blocking. The critics were cruel, said he'd lost his gift, that he should retire. But he couldn't, because the stage was all he had. Without it, he was nothing. I don't want that to be my story. I don't want my final years to be a tragedy of holding on when I should let go. So I choose this. I choose to end while I'm still choosing, while I still have agency, while I can still speak these words with clarity and purpose. In theater, we have a tradition. After the final performance of a run, the cast gathers on stage, the curtain comes down, and we say goodbye to the characters we've been playing. We thank them, release them, let them go. Tonight, I'm releasing all my characters, all my roles, all the people I've pretended to be. Hamlet, I loved being you. Thank you for teaching me about existential doubt and the weight of action. Lear, thank you for showing me what happens when we hold on too long. Willie Loman, Thank you for letting me explore the tragedy of the American dream. All of you, every character, every role, every line, thank you. You've been my life, my purpose, my joy. But now I release you. I let you go. You'll live on in the memories of audiences and in the work of other actors who will play you after me. But I am done. My performance is complete. He walks back to center stage, takes a position you recognize, the classical stance for a final monologue. Someone asked me yesterday, will you miss it? The stage, the applause, the lights? And I said yes. Of course I'll miss it. I'll miss the transformation, the magic of becoming someone else, the electricity of a live audience. But I'll also be relieved, grateful, free, because I've learned the most important lesson theater has to teach. Every performance must end. Every story reaches its conclusion. Every actor must eventually exit. The art is in knowing when. The grace is in choosing how. I've spent 70 years pretending. 70 years of costumes and makeup and memorized lines. 70 years of being not myself. And it was beautiful, meaningful, important. But now, for whatever time I have left, I want to be myself. Just myself, not performing for anyone, not projecting, not playing a role. Just an old man in a garden. Just a grandfather with his grandchildren. Just a person living an ordinary, unperformed life. And that's not a tragedy. That's not failure. That's completion. The play is over. The story is told. It's time for the curtain to fall. Victor takes a step back, then another, moving upstage into deeper shadow. My final words from this stage are these. Thank you to every audience who ever watched me, every director who ever guided me, every fellow actor who ever shared a stage with me, every playwright who ever gave me words to speak. Thank you for 70 years of magic, of transformation, of being someone other than myself. It was an honor, a privilege, a gift. His voice drops lower, more intimate. And now, I choose to leave, while I can still walk, while my words are still clear, while the applause still echoes in my memory. I exit stage left, not in defeat, not in failure, but in completion, in grace, in gratitude. The play is done. The performance is over. And that is exactly as it should be. Victor stands very still for a moment, then slowly he bows. Not a theatrical bow, not a performance, just a simple, genuine bow of gratitude. The small audience, 30 people who love him, begins to applaud, quietly at first, then building. Not a standing ovation, just steady, respectful applause. Victor straightens, looks at them all one more time, at you. Good night, he says simply, and goodbye. Then he turns and walks upstage, into the darkness, into the wings, gone. The spotlight remains on the empty chair for a moment, then it fades. The curtain falls. After the curtain falls, after the applause fades, you sit in the theater for a few more minutes. Others are leaving, wiping eyes, speaking in hushed tones, but you stay. Eventually, you make your way backstage. The stage manager sees you and nods, understanding that you need to say goodbye. You find Victor in his dressing room. He's already changed out of his costume. Just an old man in comfortable clothes now. No makeup, no costume, just himself. He's looking at his reflection in the mirror surrounded by lights. Not with vanity, just observing, saying goodbye to the face that's played so many roles. Did I do well? He asks when he sees you in the mirror. You were perfect, you say, honestly. He smiles. Not perfect, but complete, and that's better. He turns to face you. Do you understand what I was trying to say about knowing when to leave? You nod. I think so. That holding on too long diminishes what came before, that the exit is part of the performance, that grace is in knowing when to bow. Yes, Victor says. Exactly yes. We spend so much of our lives trying to stay on stage, to remain relevant, to keep performing. But there's a time to exit, a moment when the story is complete, and continuing would just be repetition. He stands slowly. I had my time in the spotlight. 70 years. That's more than most people get. More than I deserved, probably. Now it's time for other actors to have their turn. For new stories to be told. For the stage to hold different voices. That's not sad. That's how it should be. That's the cycle. I'm going to miss this, he admits. The smell of grease paint, the feel of lights on my face, the sound of an audience breathing together. But I won't miss the anxiety, the constant need to prove myself, the fear of forgetting lines, the exhaustion of being not myself. I'm ready to be just Victor now, not Victor the actor, just Victor. He picks up a photo from his dressing table. This is from my first role. Look how young I was. Look at that ego, that certainty, that hunger. I don't have that anymore, and that's okay. That hunger served its purpose. It drove me, but now I'm full, complete, done. He sets the photo down. Tomorrow, I'll wake up and I won't have to memorize lines, won't have to rehearse, won't have to perform. I'll just be. And I think I'm going to be very good at it. You walk with him out of the theater, through the backstage area, past the ghost light, the single bulb that's always left, burning on an empty stage. Victor stops to look at it. That's for the ghosts, he says. The theater tradition is that every theater is haunted by all the performances that happen there. The ghost light keeps them company. My ghost will be here now. All my performances, all my characters, they'll live here. But I'll be elsewhere, in my garden, with my family, in my own life. He continues walking. That's the secret, you know. The ghost stays, but the actor leaves. Outside, the night is cool and clear, stars visible despite the city lights. Victor breathes deeply. First breath as just Victor. Not Victor the actor, just me. He looks at you. Can I give you some advice? You nod. Whatever stage you're on, your job, your role in your family, whatever identity you've built, know that someday you'll need to leave it. Not because you're failing, not because you're forced to, but because the performance is complete. And when that time comes, leave gracefully. Leave while people still want you to stay. Leave before you diminish what you built. Take your bow, say your goodbye, walk into the wings, and trust that what comes next, the unperformed life, might be even better than the role you've been playing. He takes your hand. Thank you for witnessing my final bow. Not everyone gets an audience for their exit. I'm grateful you were there. Now go. Live your own life. And when it's your time to bow, do it with grace. He releases your hand and walks away into the night. Just an old man going home. The actor has left the building, but the performance, the final one, will echo forever. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, think about Victor's final bow. Think about the roles you're playing, the masks you wear, the performances you give. Some of them are necessary, beautiful even, worth doing. But some of them, maybe you've outgrown, maybe the performance is complete, maybe it's time to bow and exit. And that's not failure, that's completion, that's grace. Victor taught us there's an art to leaving, a wisdom in knowing when the story is done. Don't stay on stage out of fear. Don't keep performing because you've forgotten who you are without the role. Know when your performance is complete. Know when to take your bow. Know when to walk off stage and discover who you are in the wings. The applause will fade. The lights will dim. The curtain will fall. And you, the real you, not the performed you, will remain. Let yourself rest in that knowing now. Let the performance end. Let the masks fall. You don't have to perform anymore tonight. You don't have to be anything other than what you are. Just sleep, just be, just exist without audience, without stage, without spotlight. In the dark, quiet, unperformed space of rest. Victor left the stage. His characters remain in memory. But he, the real him, is free now. And so can you be, free from performance, free from roles, free to simply be. Sleep now, dear friend, no audience to please, no lines to remember, no part to play, just you, just rest, just peace. The curtain has fallen, the performance is over. And that is exactly as it should be. Good night.